I'm at the Military Women's Memorial, located at the ceremonial gateway to Arlington National Cemetery.
We are the only national memorial dedicated to telling the stories of America's servicewomen from all eras and all military services. Today, we're taking a closer look at one of those stories.
The civil rights movement is a story filled with many heroes, some famous and others who are lesser known. 3 years before Rosa Parks stood up to discrimination on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama, Sarah Keys Evans defended her right to sit where she wanted, paving the way for other acts of courage in the long struggle for equality. Sarah Keys enlisted in the Women's Army Corps, or WAC, in 1951 and was stationed at Fort Dix, New Jersey. In August 1952, she boarded a bus to travel home to Washington, North Carolina. By traveling on an interstate bus, local Jim Crow laws that segregated passengers by race could not apply, according to a recent Supreme Court ruling, so she could choose where to sit. Around midnight, the bus stopped in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, where a new driver told Keys to give up her seat to a white Marine, but she refused. The driver announced that all passengers except Keys should board another bus. Soon after, 2 police officers arrested her and brought her to a local jail where she was charged with disorderly conduct. Keys spent the night pacing the jail cell, crying and praying. The next day, the chief of police inquired about the uniform she was wearing, and she asked if he didn't recognize the color of the United States Army uniform. Keys was released after paying a $25 fine. With her father's encouragement, Keys chose to pursue legal action. Her father's friend sought help from a lawyer who recommended a new young attorney, DOVEY Rountree, to represent her. Rountree was a former WAC officer who had experienced Jim Crow as an Army recruiter in the South. After facing setbacks in civil court, Rountree filed a complaint with the Interstate Commerce Commission. In November 1955, the ICC ruled in Keys' favor in Sarah Keys v. Carolina Coach Company, stating that the policy of segregation on interstate buses was discriminatory, whether enacted by state laws or by rules a bus company might make. By the time of the ruling, Keys was no longer in the Army, but the fight for equal treatment for African Americans was only just beginning. Despite her legal victory, enforcement was rare. Just days after the ruling was announced, Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat on a local city bus, beginning the year-long Montgomery bus boycott. The ruling in favor of Keys was not enforced until 1961 amidst violence toward the protesters known as Freedom Riders, who rode interstate buses to bring attention to the fact that federal law against segregation was being ignored in southern states. When asked about her case years later, Sarah Keys Evans said that she fought the battle as a matter of moral decency. She received a Trailblazer award from the U.S. Department of Justice in 2006, and during the summer of 2020, a monument honoring her was unveiled in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina.
You can learn more about Sarah Keys Evans in Amy Nathan's book for young readers, Take a Seat, Make a Stand, A Hero in the Family. For more about civil rights attorney DOVEY Rountree, check out Mighty Justice, My Life in Civil Rights by DOVEY Rountree and Katie McCabe. To learn more stories of women past and present who serve our nation, visit www.womensmemorial.org. Tune in for our next HERstory Spotlight.